My name is Mindy Coleman, and I am a creative expressive arts therapist at Black Mountain Neuromedical Treatment Center.
Mindy is very important to the residents of this center because the people that we work with don't always have the language to express themselves, and Mindy is providing them another avenue to express themselves in a way that they can be understood.
The creative expressive arts are truly about the process, and it's about whatever's happening on the inside to have an opportunity to be expressed. People are here because they've lost certain cognitive abilities, and sometimes to be able to express it through something is what is so helpful.
For us here at the facility, Mindy embodies customer service. She knows what the residents like, she knows their preferences, she draws them out of their shells. And our residents here have had a lifetime of people either telling them what they couldn't do, or with a dementia diagnosis, they've lost things, they've had things taken away from them. And Mindy gives things back to them.
One of our residents here, Barbie, she has just this special gift with the arts. And she pumps out artwork. She just loves to draw. She loves to color. She loves to just engage in the arts.
And Mindy had shown Barbie a book by Judith Scott, another person with a diagnostic feature that was similar to Barbie's. Judith had created some fiber sculptures, and Barbie had expressed some interest in creating these fiber sculptures. Lo and behold, Mindy called the North Buncombe Library and was able to get an art installation of Barbie's work.
And Barbie was able to go with one of her friends from here at Black Mountain Center and saw that, and the sense of pride and ownership of that experience was phenomenal.
It's really amazing and beautiful actually to be witness to these experiences, and I am extremely grateful every single day that my path has led me here.
The things that creative expressive arts does with our residents are the things that make life special, and Mindy is the spark for that.
I spend most of my time on UNCG-related projects of varying sorts. So I do a lot of data analytics and data assessment to try to figure out what things the library can do to have the best impact on student success and on faculty research. There's many things we could do, but what's the best thing to do? I am Tim Bucknell. I am the Assistant Dean of Libraries. I'm also the Department Head for Electronic Resources and Information Technologies, and I am the founder and convener of the Carolina Consortium.
The Carolina Consortium is a group of over 140 libraries in North and South Carolina, and through Tim's leadership, we have over a good number of years provided membership opportunities to libraries where they can purchase or license databases, subscribe to databases, e-journal packages, e-book packages, and we can't do that all on our own. By doing the negotiating together with what Tim has organized, we've been able to provide access to resources that help our students, faculty, researchers, and at prices that become affordable through group purchasing. Tim is a deep thinker. He analyzes, uses data, he talks to colleagues and the people in his department to try to solve problems. He works well with faculty, with members of the community, and other leaders within the state. And so I think it's a combination of being a good communicator, a good listener, and having really great intelligence to consider problems and look for resolution. And then he just has that spark of creativity that brings it all together.
It's really the work of a really excellent, powerful team that puts me where I am. And so I'm glad to be a recipient, but I really want to pass the award and honors down to all those who have supported me in so many different endeavors.
Efficiency and innovation means a lot to Broughton Hospital. And Steve is a person that goes above and beyond to make sure that the needs of the hospital is met. So last year we had a situation where we were faced with making a plan of correction for the type of doors that we use.
We found the need to create a special door and a special room here for some of our patients who were more at risk for suicide.
And Steve worked the week of Christmas to make sure that they were safe for our patients to use.
They had come up with the idea of soft doors at Cherry Hospital, and they had put one on the doors and one on the showers. So I said, wouldn't this be much easier just to hook it on the inside of the door instead of the out, and swing it over and hook it on the wall for the shower door and use one door for two processes?
That saved the hospital around $86,000.
And the money that we've been able to save actually is going to help us to purchase other pieces of equipment that we would not have had the money for if he hadn't saved us the money with his innovations. I'm always amazed every time I see Steve look at a problem and take care of it.
It's like a quarterback, you know, quarterback calling the plays. He comes up with the idea and you look at it and you step back and you think, man, you know, why didn't I think of that?
Problem solving is what I probably do best. It comes natural. The Lord has just put something in my brain that makes me see things different.
We're in the process of bringing all of our medical equipment into the new hospital, and the medical beds arrived, and there was a number of them that could not fit through the doorways. And the only thing that the company could come up with would be for us to carry them through the doorway, which would absolutely be unsafe for our employees.
So I come back out to the shop here with a picture of the bed in my mind and sketched apparatus that we was going to make to do this.
And he developed a special lift and built it out of material that we just had here.
And two people was able to roll it over on its side, pin it off, and roll it anywhere you wanted to take it. It made a 16-person job a 2-person job.
Steve, he's definitely a plus for the whole state of North Carolina.
My name is Martha Brown, and I'm one of the chaplains here at Cherry Hospital.
I knew the minute that we interviewed her that she was somebody that we had to have at the hospital. She came in with a mindset to make a difference.
Everybody has an idea that a chaplain is somebody on the outside coming in to comfort and to pray, but she's a little more than that.
My responsibility here as a chaplain is to serve all persons within the hospital.
Martha created the SHARE program in collaboration with our patients.
SHARE, which is an acronym, stands for Spiritual, Holistic, and Recovery Enlightenment. In order to make sure that I was meeting the needs of our patients, I asked them the question, what they were interested in and what suggestions that they might have.
She takes the time to know our patients and what's going to help them on their road to recovery, and it's not just the same old.
They said that they were interested in learning about different religious traditions and different religious practices. Tai Chi, meditation, live music. We've been having community leaders, community groups come here and shared their gifts and their talents with our patients.
She pulls in programs like ours that are a little bit different, not necessarily in the mainstream. We can offer tools and techniques that can be helpful to just about anybody.
She has taken the time to educate the staff that work with those patients to help them understand it may not be what you do, but it's where they are.
The people that come want to share exactly their experiences, their programs, their music with other folks, and they want them to grow in that aspect.
When we brought Martha on, we were very close to moving from our old hospital to the new hospital. There was a connection to the old hospital where folks had grown up, their parents had worked.
One of my concerns was the grief that the employees were experiencing.
What she did was put together a film like none I've ever seen. And it actually helped move our staff from what they knew to something brand new, and that was an experience for all of us.
I think it's important that when you serve, that you leave something better off than where you found it.
We are very lucky to have Dr. Consagra back in her home state of North Carolina. She's an incredible leader, so much passion, and she has really ignited the work to fight the opioid crisis here in North Carolina.
To be surrounded by such a great team, to have such great leadership that supports you every step of the way, I couldn't have asked for anything more. And so I feel like that is really a reflection on the great support and people we have around us.
I think Dr. Consagra's work's important because she came in to the body of work at a really challenging time. The death rate from the opioid epidemic was really spiking up high with the introduction of fentanyl.
North Carolina was incredibly hard hit by the opioid epidemic.
That was an incredibly important moment for us as a state to pull together not just the public health space, but mental health and Medicaid and our education partners and law enforcement. She was the leader who put together our first statewide opioid action plan back in 2017.
She was able to get everybody into the same room and work together and find what their contribution and strengths could do and maximize everybody's effort.
Some of the key messages of the Opioid Action Plan are to encourage our communities and as a state to work on activities that promote judicious prescribing of opioids and also increase access to treatment and recovery supports. And that's happening in such a wide variety of ways.
This is an epidemic that involves a lot of different disciplines, so it's not just public health.
From executing the strategies in the plan, we are starting to see some really good results. So we're seeing our first ever decline in opioid overdose deaths in the past 5 years, our first decline in emergency department visits for opioid overdoses in the past decade. We're seeing increases in the number of folks who are accessing treatment, and we're seeing declines in opioid prescribing since the launch of the plan.
That's hundreds and hundreds of lives saved. She has been an integral part of that.
She cares about the people that she works with, and she cares about the people impacted by our work.
We're so thankful she's getting the recognition she deserves today for all the work she's done thus far.
Like a lot of folks, I fell into the public service sector, needed a job, and 25 years ago I got one and enjoyed it and have managed to, stay with it for the entire time.
Ed's work with the state is a great example of public service. His dedication to the proper waste management for all of our state and the citizens within it is critical, not only from his days as a permit review engineer, but to his days now as a section chief and managing a statewide solid waste program, ensuring that our state can successfully manage waste so that its citizens don't have to be concerned about it.
Honestly would say I probably never envisioned myself being a career public servant, but I'm glad that I did, and I really enjoy working with what I'm doing.
I always enjoy catching up with Ed about some of the latest developments with his Boy Scout troop, their trips to Philmont, their camping trips around our beautiful state.
Yeah, right, that's it. I've been in scouting for well over 50 years as an adult and a youth. Some people grew up wanting to be firemen or policemen. I wanted to be a Boy Scout.
I think Ed being a scout leader really exemplifies open-ended public service because he doesn't have any skin in the game right now. His kids are grown, they're gone. None of these kids are even extended family to him. And he shows up every week, he shows up every camping trip.
There's a saying in Boy Scouts, it's our slogan, it's called do a good turn daily, and it means every day go out and do something for someone. And he was really the one that took that idea to the next level.
Ed is certainly there every step of the way, pushing you to do better and get the next step. He always puts you in the position to be successful, so it's very helpful to have a leader like him.
It's just rewarding
to know that you've done something for somebody else. So I don't think about it as a job or whatever. It's just something I've always done and probably always will do.
One of my goals is to provide an environment in which people can improve their rapport with the natural world and have experiences that will make them endeared and advocates for protection of the natural world.
Well, let me talk about two courses that Ann has taught that have really benefited the students at UNC Greensboro. One of those courses was sea turtle conservation, in which the students do coursework during the regular semester, but then in the summer they go down to Costa Rica to a sea turtle hospital and they actually get involved in hands-on research, conserving sea turtles, learning from the experts of what they're doing. I mean, I know these students who have gone down there are really deeply moved by these experiences. Another similar course she takes students down, and in fact did it this summer, to Little Cayman Island for coral reef conservation. The students learn to scuba dive, they engage in coral reef census, and Ann had to learn herself to scuba dive for this course. So it was a big effort to do these two kinds of courses on an every other year basis. So basically every summer she's traveling with one group of students doing ecological research in the field and giving them really life transformative experiences. Ann is a passionate advocate for the environment. She shows this through her teaching, through the service that she's done for the state and for the university, and even through research, through the founding of the Box Turtle Connection and all the research that's been done through that wonderful state organization.
We are amassing one of the largest box turtle databases in the world. From this database, we will be able to tell over time about something about our populations, about their stability, their ability to withstand climate change and habitat alteration. These volunteers are accumulating hours that can be used by the North Carolina Wildlife Resources Commission to serve as match for federal wildlife grants. This year, our match will surpass $1 million.
I think Ann does love teaching. I think even more than teaching, she loves preserving the natural world. She loves connecting people to the natural world and making a difference in their lives.
Work philosophy is pretty simple. Treat people like you want to be treated. My name is Jack Waters. I am a Building Environmental Services Supervisor, and I've been here for about 7 years.
Well, Jack performs many roles on campus. He's a colleague, teammate, supervisor, and friend to all. He is really an engaging individual and has really never met anyone who's a stranger.
He's just a very outgoing person, will help anybody with anything. No matter what kind of day he's having at work, he always has a smile on his face when he runs in there. And he just kind of forgets all the problems of the daily job and talks to people and helps them out and just makes them feel like this is home. He's gotten involved in activities on campus. The Veterans Day, he brought a movie to campus. It was about a Navy SEAL. Being that the Navy SEAL Joshua Harris was from Lexington, he got involved with a festival every year in Davidson County.
We got together with a group of people and we actually rented out Davidson County Fairgrounds, and we had an all-day festival where we got vendors and we had music, and it was really special because Josh's parents were there.
And he started an annual motorcycle bike ride through Winston-Salem to raise money for the veterans, and it was called Big Bikes for Purple Hearts.
Jack is an exceptional role model who truly embraces the concept of volunteerism and really gives selflessly of his time and his resources.
I think pretty much everybody's day can be summed up with one formula. 10% of the things that happen to you, 90% is how you react to that.
He takes pride in his work and is really dedicated to performing one of the hardest jobs here on campus, where he oversees a professional crew of housekeepers who ensure the safety, cleanliness, and productive, harmonious environment for our faculty, staff, and students here.
Work is really, you can't always just look at the technical side of it. It's about people. It's not about one person. When you're dealing with these, with nonprofits, you ask anybody that's working with them, working in them, it's not about me. I am so appreciative of being recognized, but it's not about me. It's about the people that we're able to touch, the lives we're able to touch. And that's why we do what we do.
Just a, as they say, routine day in the comm center. I was actually working a console that day over in Troop D and on the Troop D side.
So it was different, and as in we don't usually get chases or stopping suspicious vehicles, which he quickly called out it was a chase.
Initially it came in as just a chase.
Daniel said, all right, he's stopping.
But as a supervisor, I selected it up and started listening.
And then was immediately shot.
We continue to follow breaking news.
Subject of an intense manhunt.
Trooper has been shot this
Tonight,
evening.
a trooper in Wilson County shot.
He stopped. I stopped behind him. Just as I was about to get out of my car, he was leaned out the window and fired approximately 4 times, striking me in the corner of the lip and just above my eye. I definitely did a self-check. I could hear, I could breathe. The eyesight was a little tough because there was just blood coming down the eye, and the gunshots in the windshield made it hard to see. But once I realized I was okay, never crossed my mind to stop.
Daniel then took off after him.
He was still able to talk to us and continue to chase the suspect until his car was disabled and he couldn't anymore.
I knew Daniel's wife was pregnant. Really the biggest thing was, how was he doing? Once I found out he was doing well, it immediately turned to, is this scene being preserved? And second of all, we need to notify his family, get someone to them, and get them escorted to the hospital.
So when I receive a phone call and, they tell me a trooper has been shot, my heart, there's a flood of emotions. I mean, your heart just sinks in your chest.
I think once I saw the video and saw Trooper Harold's character in that point there, I was really proud of him.
We referred to him as Superman in here earlier just because it's amazing what he went through, and then he still continued.
He's as close to Superman as you can find in Highway Patrol that day.
Black and silver is in his DNA. He was born with it.
I'm really proud of Daniel for that night and his actions after the fact. I was a great trooper.
You start thinking about what could have happened, and you're so thankful that he came out of it the way he did.
I felt like it wasn't the end. I felt like I was okay and was going to be fine. It was just hard to think that close to not meeting my daughter, or seeing family again, but I'm very grateful, very blessed.
Just amazed that he did that day. Didn't bat an eye, just went right after the guy.
I was happy, I was honored, I was so pleased. But I also knew the set of circumstances that Daniel went through, and I couldn't think of a better person, a more deserving award recipient than Daniel Harold.